Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about how Shannon Watts finally blocked us on Twitter for us calling her out on her leftist lies and absolute anti-gun bullshit is what it was. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. We'll be doing another Grandstand here in a little bit, but I figured I'd do this one first. That's what it is. It has to go with the other one. That was what it is. Which, for those who don't know, there was two of three Democrats this morning who were expelled from the Tennessee General Assembly for the insurrection act they committed last week, is what it was. Which honestly, they should have been removed on the spot. Is what it is, dude. You shouldn't have had to have the GOP there in Tennessee introduce articles of resolution and stuff like that to remove them. Is what it is. They should have been removed on the spot based on the fact they were committing an actual, by definition, insurrection act last week after the whole massacre that happened there in Nashville. And the thing is, I think the only reason that Gloria Johnson wasn't removed with the Justins is because she was basically the third wheel there. Like, everybody's basically trying to scream racism about it now, obviously, and being like, "Oh, you kicked out these two black dudes, but not this white woman," etc., etc. And it's like they probably didn't boot her ass out because, again, she was the third wheel in that thing, whereas Justin Jones and Justin Pearson literally showed up with bullhorn in hand to do fucking grandstanding shit, is what it was, dude, to make a name for themselves instead of, as this Andrew Farmer guy pointed out there as a state rep as well for Tennessee, when they were expelling Pearson earlier today. It was like, yeah, dude, there's a reason why, if you want to get up here and say some stuff or whatever the case be, introduce a bill is what it is. And that's what it is, dude. And this is exactly why, honestly, we as a country don't need to have activists and political power at all in this country at all. And now you got people like David Hogg, et cetera, and his little buddies basically talking about how, oh, there's going to be a wave of GOP/red states banning college age kids from voting now and stuff like that. It's like, well, when you're literally fucking direct tied to Antifa and BLM terrorists, you probably shouldn't have voting rights in this country at all because you should already be a fucking felon. Just like how David Hogg's bitch ass should already be a fucking multi-time felon right now for the congressional hearing shit that he did a couple weeks, not a couple weeks ago, about almost a year ago now, when he interrupted congressional hearings. And by the way, if somebody like me had done that shit, we would be sitting in federal prison right now with a fucking federal felony. The fact that David Hogg's bitch ass is all over Twitter right now is fucking bullshit, dude. That dude should be in federal prison right now, along with Manuel Oliver and his wife, for the crap they have pulled, dude. Because they pulled the same shit here a couple weeks ago, is what it was. But anyway, so yeah, basically, I was on Twitter earlier today, and I was calling out Shannon Watts and her anti-gun bullshit is what it was. And then you had the following thing happen. This is probably about 3 hours ago or so, where I was trying to call her out, her being an anti-white racist piece of shit right there because she was talking about Billy and a bunch of other white dudes and stuff like that. And it said the tweet you were trying to reply to has been deleted or is not visible to you. And I'm like, what? That's fucking weird. And so I'm like, that's really strange. Like, what the hell's going on there? And then I go to um, check Watts' page and stuff, and sure enough, I got this. You're blocked, and I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't be happier. Mostly for several reasons is what it is, and it shows again the leftist bullshit, dude. When you have these fucking Democrats, these fucking scumbag anti-gun sacks of shit who are straight up lying to everybody's faces, and we're calling them out as what it is, dude. I called Shannon Watts out for over an hour last night on this shit. I think that's what it was. I think she realized that was an actual threat to her, is what it was, dude. As a pro 2A organization, is what it was, and that's why she blocked me. The thing of it is, we at the network, we don't tend to really block people for too many things, honestly, on Twitter. There's only a couple people I've had to block so far, and it's mostly a bunch of leftist dipshits that keep bringing up gaslighting dipshittery, is what it is mostly. There was one guy I had to block the other day actually because I called him out on specifically it was here in Ohio. We have both major political parties who are corrupt as fuck, is what it is, and they keep trying to. You have these Democrats, these leftist people that always try to claim, oh, it's just the Republican Party. No, it's not, dude. It's, if anything, it's more the Democrat Party than anybody else, but it's also Republican Party here as well. So it's both major parties. Not every single person in both parties either, by the way. It's, I would say, the majority of Democrats. Well, actually, it might be the entire fucking Democrat Party in the state house anyway, and the state senate for that matter too, which is like 30-something people, almost 40-something people. And then it's like about 40 or 50 Republicans in our General Assembly then that are the biggest scumbag pay to play career criminals is what it is, dude. So it's about like probably like 2/3 or so of the General Assembly that should be removed from office right now in the state of Ohio for various crimes they committed over the time. And that's why I did the Oathbreaker series back in the day. I need to bring that back one of these days. Dude, I'm just, again, to me, it's not really laziness anymore. It's just health issues more than anything. Is the main reason I haven't brought that back, because there's a reason why I don't do grandstands all the time anymore, is because I'm just so exhausted. I think it's the weather change and everything else like that. So, anyways, but yeah, so you have that stuff going on, and then, like I said, you got Watts basically blocking me for calling her ass out on a bunch of stuff, was what it was. And then you have Hogg basically going all nutso and doing all kinds of crazy shit there, is what it is. And these people are just insane, dude, is what it really is. Like, these leftist anti-gunners are some of the most insane people on earth right now. And honestly, any other time period in history, they would be one of three places. They would either be in jail, in a mental institution, or in the fucking ground, is what it is. Because you would have already, number one, had them be institutionalized for just being psychotic lunatics. Number two, they would have already caught the charges that they committed at this point and been drug off in handcuffs. Or number three, you would have had society just form an angry mob and kill them. And I think that's what they don't realize, honestly. You have them basically trying to incite violence against everybody else right now, dude, and get away with it all the time. And these people don't realize, like, you're poking a pissed off bear right now. And when that bear gets pissed off enough, it's gonna swipe back at you, dude. It's like going into a lion's den and being like, "Oh, let me pet the big kitty that's hungry as fuck," and then you wonder why the cat's literally dragging you off at some point. So I don't know. I feel like we're definitely heading towards something right now, and I've talked on this channel before for the last several years now, under different monikers and stuff, about heading towards balkanization right now. I think it's very possible. The thing is, if it does become a balkanized nation, the United States actually just break up into balkanized nation or like smaller nations and stuff like that, it'll be through violent and bloody battles. And that's something I really don't want to see. Because the thing of it is, I just don't want to have to take people's lives at this point, honestly. And I feel like that's what I feel like a situation that myself and everyone else be put in, honestly, is what it is, dude. To where we would have to basically be in a kill or be killed situation. And I'm not okay with that. So, you know, I don't know. But I definitely think something's about to happen. Like I said, whether it be Great Depression, societal collapse, revolution, balkanization, civil war, doesn't really matter, honestly. But yeah, I definitely believe there's some shit going down right now. And I think a lot of it's being orchestrated by outside factors, specifically the George Soros types and the Bilderberg types of the world is what it is. So I don't know, man. But yeah, and then you got all these fucking idiots showing up today at the Tennessee State House there, at the Capitol, to where you had to have the state police there basically tell them to fuck off eventually because they were trying to. You had all these leftists, and you can't tell me this shit's not organized like a motherfucker, dude, by people like Shannon Watts, by people like David Hogg, etc., dude. Maybe not David Hogg per se, but like because he's an idiot, really. But definitely, like, I would say he's like the middleman go between is what it is between like the actual, behind the scenes leadership, pulling the puppet strings kind of people, like your Shannon Watts types and stuff like that, and MDA types of shit. That would be the ones actually pulling the strings and, getting the various funding together to pay off these people is what it is, dude. And that's legitimately what it is at the end of the day. They want to sit there and be like, oh, look at this giant crowd of people. And it's like a couple hundred people, dude. That's not a giant crowd, dude. You want to talk about a giant crowd? Let's talk about the gun crowd, the pro gun crowd. Pre 2020, so back in like 2019, I think is when it was. They're in Virginia for the Virginia Legislative Day there, where you had legitimately tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, all armed to the fucking teeth, by the way, descending on Virginia's capital that day, to where you had to have the Virginia cops basically create some kind of gun-free zone there for people that wanted to go in and testify on behalf of stuff. And yeah, you had a fuck ton of Americans just chilling outside, with their arms, the various rifles, full kits, whatever you want to call it at that point. ARs, AKs. Some guy had a Barrett 50 cal, etc., etc. So yeah, and nobody died, nobody was harmed. It's pretty much the safest place on earth that day, honestly. And then you have fucking ass clowns like David Hogg and Shannon Watts, etc., that want to sit here and continue to disarm us is what it is, dude. Fuck that. That's why I'm in this fight, by the way. And what's funny to me is right before I was blocked last night by Watts, she threw out some bullshit tweet about like her being in this fight for like 11 years against anti-gun stuff, or to be an anti-gunner, so I should say on that one. And then she was talking about how she thinks there's like, I think the way she was saying it was, she's like, oh, I kind of see the writing on the wall, like, and like basically falsely claiming that they're winning is what it is, even though you've had at least a couple of dozen court battles in the past month or so that have all gone to the pro gun side at this point. Like these fuckers can do whatever they want, dude. When it comes to trying to ban guns in states and stuff like that, we will sue the shit out of them, and we will win eventually. Is what it is. The problem is, it's that in between time where you have these unconstitutional bans in place, whether it be mag bans or whether it be various cosmetic features of a firearm bans. They call it quote unquote assault weapons, and nobody ever. By the way, this is what I hate about these fucking college kids that always say assault weapon and stuff like that, dude. Or even like these high school kids. They have no fucking clue what they're talking about, dude. It's like define it or shut the fuck up. Oh yeah, that's right, you can't define it, so shut the fuck up, kid. Your opinion doesn't fucking matter, jackass. And honestly, I would say when it comes to voting rights in this country, these kids coming up now, they shouldn't have them at all, dude. For one very specific reason. When you have kids that have had to go through school shooter drills and basically been put in a state and of conscience and stuff like that for the past several years now, especially after the 2020 lockdowns and stuff, where they were seriously mentally affected. You can't tell me that every single one of these kids doesn't have serious PTSD right now, and that's why I shouldn't have voting rights in this country. And until they want to get that dealt with, only then after that should they have voting rights in this nation. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with the whole thing, honestly. And it's funny to me how you got the people being like, oh, Gen Z did this in 2020 or this in 2022 or this in 2023. And it's like, all you're talking about is massive voter fraud, dude, every single time. We've exposed it. We will continue to expose it. And eventually, we will finally take it to the court battles that it needs to be taken to, get the judges that it needs to be taken to, and overturn these fucking elections, dude. Otherwise, we will be in a situation where it will have to be revolution or civil war type of situation. But again, that should be a last resort always, is what it is, dude. So, I don't know. Unfortunately, I think there is many people that don't see what's coming, and they're putting themselves in a situation. Hell, you had a bunch of retard leftists at the Tennessee State Capitol last night do a quote unquote die in there, and it's like all you're doing is a practice session for if you actually did have the communist takeover that you stupid fuckers want. That would be what the government does to your dumbasses for real. That is why people like me are out here doing our job as Second Amendment advocates, as constitutionalists, as pro life people, trying to save your dumbasses from your own stupidity, is what it is, dude. And honestly, for me personally, that shit is wearing very fucking thin right now, dude. To where I'm to the point of saying just fuck these people. And if they're gonna do stupid shit to try to take away my rights or your rights or anybody else's rights for that matter, dude, fuck them. They shouldn't have rights at all in this country. And we simply save ourselves. And if that means a balkanized nation, that means a balkanized nation. And it's as simple as that, really. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, basically Shannon Watts, she blocked the Ohio Patriot Education Network on Twitter. I think it's kind of funny. It's really funny how long it took her to do it, honestly, dude, because it really proves she's a lazy bitch is what it is, dude. I'm not surprised by that at all. So, anywho's, that being said, um, that's pretty much where we're at for the day, is what it is now. And we'll be back later. I was gonna do the other one tonight, but I think I'll wait till tomorrow at some point. But yeah, we'll be back for the one we're talking about where that I kind of mentioned already about them expelling the two dudes from the Tennessee General Assembly there, and then everybody trying to take about a race now is what it is. But we'll get more into that then, because I'm sure there'll probably be an update tomorrow about that and stuff like that. So, but anyway, basically what I'm seeing right now is Bill Lee is being a good governor there in Tennessee, and the General Assembly is doing what they need to do to basically pass good legislation to make sure that kids are safe from future massacres by leftist psychotic lunatics, which is what happened there at Covenant. And unfortunately, far too many people, especially these scumbags like Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, are trying to grandstand on the dead bodies of children. Because that's what the left does, dude. That's what they always fucking do. They will stand on a pile of dead kids to push their anti gun bullshit through. And I will personally be goddamned if I ever let that shit fucking happen, dude. In this country or any other country for that matter. You will not win this fight. You will not win this war. You will not win this battle. We will beat you at every single fucking turn forever. Just go away. And it's as simple as that. And that message goes out to every anti-gunner out there, dude. Just go the fuck away. Just move away. Give up your U.S. citizenship and get the fuck out of this country. Take your bitch ass to some other country that's already a gun control hellhole, like Australia, like New Zealand, like any place in Europe that now has violent fucking knife crime everywhere, dude. And find out firsthand what happens when you ban citizenry from having the right to keep and bear arms. Needless to say, it doesn't work out well for your dumbasses. And it's as simple as that. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see y'all in the next one.